Welcome to the lab. Hey. So right here on this channel, I've been talking about all the great things about being an interpreter. I talk about how it makes you a better person, how it makes you see different perspectives and all that, which is true. It is true. But understand, interpreting isn't all peaches and cream. You're not going to come in here and just have rosy days all the time and just enjoy yourself. There are obstacles that we have with interpreters. It's kind of like our pet peeves. It's just things that we can't get around, but we have to figure out how to deal with. And you knowing how to deal with these things are the things that make you either a great interpreter or not. So let's get into it. Let's talk about a couple of pet peeves that we have that you need to know how to negotiate. Starting out, the very first interpreter pet peeve on this list is a fast talking person. Goodness gracious. When a person is talking fast, it just drives me crazy. And specifically, I'm talking about the bios. That's the worst one in my perspective. The bios be killing me because it's always at the beginning. And I don't even have a chance to really get into the zone, and I'm bombarded with all this information.
And the young lady that's stopping by for conversation on a drink
today is one of the best loved comedians. She's one of the most decorated actors. She won an Oscar, a Golden Globe. She's a British Academy Film, Theater, and Arts Award. She's a Scripps Howard Guild winner, NAACP Image Award winner. She's been nominated for a Primetime Emmy and a Grammy. She's a talented host, executive producer, writer, and an author, a versatile entertainer, a famed Hollywood star, a powerful name in the industry, a veteran stand-up comedian, a mother, a wife, a legend, the one, the only, Monique.
Wow. You got a person who's achieved 1,000,001 things, and then they're coming to do a speech. They have a 10-minute speech. One of the minutes is introducing them, so they have to go through this bio. So the hearing person, they don't breathe when they say this bio. They just say this person did this, did this, did this, did this, did this, did this. They just go crazy every time. And now I'm there. And the worst part, like I said in the beginning, I get there, all right, checked in with my client. I'm there 15 minutes early. I'm dressed nice. I'm ready to go. And they start, hello, good morning. Thank you for coming to the workshop. All of that is typically normal talking speed. So I'm doing good. Hello, good morning. Thank you for coming. All that's all good. The moment the bio starts, okay, here to welcome this person who has written this book, done this, been to this place. They just go crazy. And now I'm over there trying to catch up, and I'm trying to interpret and do everything else. It's hard. It's hard. But there is a solution. First, you want to try to request the information ahead of time. Maybe that can help you. Request that information ahead of time so you can already know what's coming up, and then you can pregame, essentially. Another thing you can do, a lot of times with the bio, the person talking so fast, hearing people, we can't process all that information. Even if you're just an audience member, we naturally start to pick out the key words, the important words that we heard. That's what we need to do when we're in that moment where the person's talking too fast in their bio, or honestly, whatever. Pick out those key words and make them relate to each other. So listen, the person wrote a book in what year? What's the title of the book if you can catch it? The person traveled to this place. What's the name of the place? Why did they travel there? What year? You want to get just general information like that, because that is what's going to show a storyline for this presenter that you're talking about. Because if you just try to interpret, just go along with them, you're going to be looking like that. And then you're going to be sweating. Then you're going to be looking like you're scared. You're going to be looking like you don't know what you're doing. Don't worry about it like that. Don't do that. Take a step back. Think, okay, I requested this information ahead of time. I know at the end of the day, this person graduated from this school with this degree. I got you. You have to do a game plan because, hearing person not waiting for you. They on the clock. So you got to make sure you're on there. Another interpreter pet peeve is an accent that you cannot understand. Now that one hurts. That one hurts because you never see it coming. When you get to an assignment, it's bad because everybody is doing what they're supposed to be doing except you, the interpreter. You have your hearing person here. They're speaking, saying what they're supposed to be saying. You have your deaf person here who's listening to you, but you aren't being able to understand what the hearing person's saying because of their accent. Imagine the client's perspective. The client is seeing the hearing person move their mouth. But why your hands not moving? What's going on here? Do something. But we over here saying like, I don't know what he said. Okay. In the situation, the specific situation, you need to let your client know what are your barriers. Your barriers to interpreting right now is that this hearing person has an accent that you aren't understanding. You need to let the deaf person know that. Empower them with that information so then they can decide how to proceed. So if it's going on, if it's something that you can interrupt and ask for repeat, that's first. That's gold. You want to ask for repeat, just to get clarification. If you cannot ask for repeat, communicate that barrier to them. Let the deaf person know, strong accent, don't know what he's saying. Say unclear, show what's happening. If you just sit there and you just look around, try to look for your team, maybe your team can help you, but if both of y'all don't understand, you just like this, the deaf person is not going to understand that the accent is the reason you're not interpreting. We want to keep our deaf person in the loop. Let them know, hey, it's just a strong accent. I don't know what they're saying, because it happens to all of us. It happens, all right? Sometimes people say things, we don't know what they said, and we can't get it back. We have to figure out how to address that. Now, after that assignment is done, you want to notice, I struggled with a person with this kind of accent. Figure out where that person's from or what culture, whatever is the accent, figure out where could you find more stimulus with that accent in it. All you need to do is go on YouTube and look up person from Texas, person from Germany, person from Russia. Just look it up, person from that place giving a presentation. Just look it up and listen to their accent. Listen to it. Try to calibrate your ears so you can understand that specific accent, and you'll get better as an interpreter. Look at that. 2 birds in 1 stone. Go ahead with your bad self. Let's go on to our next one. The next pet peeve that interpreters face: videos with no captions. Interpreter. Hiring entities, hearing people, jobs, all that. Listen to me. We are in the year 2039 at this point, okay? We've been requesting captions, and not even deaf people exclusively use captions. Everybody uses captions. We need the captions, all right? Interpreter, you still have to interpret no matter what. You have captions or not, you still have to interpret. Unless the deaf person tells you otherwise, you still interpret. Got it. But that is a resource for us interpreters. That is a resource for that deaf person. That's a resource for anybody who wants to use captions for whatever reason. There's no reason to have captions unavailable. Now, captions won't always automatically be on the video. You as an interpreter, first check in with the deaf person. Hey, do you want captions on this video? Do you mind if I have captions? Do you mind if I ask, does this video have captions? Ask the deaf person. You always want to empower them. Then when they give you the okay, go ahead and check if they got captions, or if they say they would like it, whatever the case is, fine. Go to the facilitator of this event and ask them, does this video have captions? Hopefully they're using a YouTube video where they can just click the captions button and then we have some auto captions. It won't be perfect, but it's something, again, a resource for you. If they do not have any captions, well, good luck, have fun. I mean, you're just going to have to just say, for next time, this is what you should tell them. Tell them for next time, it would be better to have videos for captions, because that is just making sure that everybody has accessible to all the information. You say something like that to that effect, it may just glaze over in their eyes and just say, okay, whatever, and not really listen to you. They might, but we want to make sure we're advocating for going in the right direction. And the right direction is having captions on the dang videos. I don't understand why it's not there at this point. Another thing that's an obstacle for me, I think this one is getting more serious, because there's an interpreter shortage in my immediate area and there's an influx of assignments. The one thing that interpreters have to know is really you need to make sure that you are using your time wisely. This really comes into effect when you are doing open access interpreting. Now, open access as an idea is a great idea. make sure that at any time a deaf person can walk into a place and you have an interpreter, you have access. I love it. I think that's great. I think that's where we should go. The problem with open access is that if a deaf person doesn't come in, we have an interpreter here who is interpreting. That interpreter likely denied 3-4 other assignments that had deaf people there confirmed because we have this assignment. Now look, it is what it is, but now I'm here. I'm interpreting into an abyss. There's nobody watching me, and I know I have other deaf people who probably don't have access or probably had to change an appointment, reschedule it because they didn't have an interpreter available. That kind of stuff just gets under my skin because it's like I'm just there just wasting away. Then you got your interpreters there and they're just interpreting. That's how bad habits form because no one's there to watch you. No one's there to look at you, say, yes, I understand, or no, I don't understand. What was that? No one's there to do that. So you're just going and you're just going. Well, you could just go in the wrong direction. That's why the open access is dangerous. So if you're at an event that is open access, no deaf person's coming or no deaf person's confirmed, you can't just leave the assignment. Sometimes you can ask the person, hey, there's no deaf person in the audience. Do you guys still need our services? Ask, because they might just say, no, don't need it. And then you can go ahead and go to another assignment. But if you are stuck there because they paid for it and you're going to stay there, use your time wisely. Ask your team, hey, could you watch me just for 1 turn, 2 turns? Give me some feedback on that. Use that time because at this point, because you're interpreting, you might as well go ahead and get some benefit from it. Do not just interpret and half-ass it and think it's okay. First, you never know who's watching. You never know truly who's watching. So don't misrepresent yourself like that. But then secondly, you don't want to do that because you want to make sure that you're always improving as an interpreter. So use that time to improve yourself. I don't like when people walk into a room or space and don't speak. Like, say something. I don't get it. Look at this. You see that? All of y'all coming up in here and y'all not going to say nothing? You're not going to drop a like, drop a comment, drop a sub, nothing? This ain't no picnic. If y'all coming up in here, let a brother know you here. Let me know you don't see something. Interact with somebody. I'm just saying. It's called courtesy. All right, back to the video. Another thing. This is, it's kind of funny, honestly. After an assignment is done, hearing people always come up to the interpreters. You were so animated. I really enjoyed watching you. I was watching you more than I was watching the presenter because you were just so entertaining. I remember when I was in high school, I learned how to say A, B, C. Yeah. Like that, it happens all the time with us interpreters. Hearing people come up to us, hearing people listen, okay? Let me tell you, you don't know what I said. You don't know what I was saying. I really do appreciate you coming to me and let me know that you enjoyed watching me. Thank you so much. Only reason that this is on this list is because most times we are heading to another assignment. We are kind of over it. We're ready to go. And having this conversation again and again and again and again, every time we interpret, it gets pretty daunting. You know, it gets pretty daunting. Interpreter, when this happens to you, again, when it happens to you, don't be a jerk. Don't be a jerk because you are a reflection of more than just yourself, okay? You're a reflection of yourself, so you don't want to be a jerk because of you. But then also, people don't often understand interpreters, right? You don't want to leave a bad impression for this hearing person to think all interpreters are mean or rude or something like that. And then also, we represent the deaf people too. You don't want them to think that the deaf person is a jerk because of how you responded. There's too much on the line for you to be a jerk. All you do is smile and wave. Just smile and wave.
Just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
Just say, oh, okay, that's great. Yeah, that's awesome. Defer to the deaf person if they're there. Oh, you learn some sign language? I got a deaf person here. Let's go ahead and let's show him. Or what you can do, because they'll ask, how long did it take you to learn? I was trying to learn, but I don't know where to go. Just say the common places. Gallaudet University. That's like a top one when you're trying to get somebody out your face. Gallaudet University. Go on YouTube, say a YouTube channel, say a deaf person that you know that does ASL content. Do that, have those informations already set in your head so that when people ask it, you can just give them that response as quick as you can and you can get on about your day. But it happens all the time. Can't get away from it. You might as well learn how to deal with it. And the last thing that annoys me, this one I wasn't going to put on the list actually, but it just happened to me and I didn't like it so much. Yeah, it's on the list now. When a speaker is faced away from you, that I think that's the worst. When I'm talking about a speaker, I'm talking about like the things that you plug in, like the little speaker things. That's what I'm talking about. When they are faced away from you and you are on the stage, it goes from you being in the audience and you sitting in that first row because you in the off chair, you're ready to start, and you're listening, you're imagining yourself interpreting, and everything is good. You ready, right? It's time to switch. Okay, cool. We switch. You get up on stage. The moment you get on stage, all that clear words that you was hearing start to. I don't know what that is. I don't know why it happens. I'm not no scientist. I'm an interpreter. So I don't know what the science behind it is, but I know it happens. And it happens all the time. And it's awful. You were hearing it. You were understanding it. And now you're finding yourself leaning in, trying to figure out what's going on. Let the deaf client know. If you really don't understand, let the deaf client know your challenges. But it's bad because now I'm up on the stage. I'm starting to sweat on my head because I'm starting to think like, wait a minute, I was just understanding. I'm trying to interpret, I'm trying to listen as hard as I can. All that goes on when you get up on that stage and the speaker is faced away from you. Communication is everything. And with the speaker, the sound is going opposite from you. So it's just like SOL. All right. So what you do in this situation, empower the deaf person, let them know your challenges. Use your team if you have one. Look at them because, they're in a good spot. So they can probably hear you great. Another thing that you can do is you need to take a step back and think about, where were we when you was in the off chair? Where was the event? Like, what were they talking about? What were they saying? Where were they going in their plan? Use that because that'll give you some schema to listen. So when you do hear these words, that mumble jumble, when it do come in, you can likely connect it because you know what context we're talking about. But those are a few of the things that happens to us in interpreting that you will encounter. You cannot get away from, but now you got some solutions for it. Look at that. Growing before my eyes. I'm proud of you. Let's give it up one time for the one time. Hey, I see you out there.